Everybody's familiar with it. I got asked a question from one of the, in fact, from Simon, who's not on at the moment. Hopefully they'll join us a bit later. And about the way it works, because he didn't quite get it. So I just thought I'd cover it in a bit of detail. Is there anyone here who doesn't fundamentally understand it? Because if not, I won't do it. You are all right with it?
Yeah, all fine.
You're fine with it. I know you're fine.
Yeah.
What about everyone else? Paul's fine with it. Angus, do you fine with it?
I'm pretty much okay with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Tomas, you all right with ECBX?
You're muted. We can't hear you.
Yeah.
Is that yes? You're okay with it, knowing what ECBX is? Or yes, you're now unmuted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. We'll move on. Warren, what about you? You're good with it, are you? Yeah. You can. Okay. Right.
Are you not going to do it then?
Well, I was going to do it for Simon and.
Well, you should still do it because we are recording this.
Well, I'll run through it then very quickly because it does make sense. I hope it makes sense. There is a little bit of misunderstanding about the way it actually works because ECB is actually a bonus. What we describe as ECB giving you 300 points for a UPK is a bonus value because ordinarily an ultimate partner kit's only 150 points. People get confused about it because you don't get 100% the ECB itself until you've got X team. So you need your 10 customers. And this is a part of the philosophical element of the plan, because what Zinzino is saying is you need customers in order to maximize your payout. And then when they roll out an ECBX month, then it doubles the ECBX bonus, the ECB bonus, effectively, the enrollment credit bonus. I think they should have just called enrollment credit, and then we would have known that everybody got 150 points for an ultimate partner kit. It does actually say that in the plan. It calls it an accelerator, actually, for that you qualify for when you've reached X team. So one of the things we should all be covering in detail with partners very early on is it's covered in the fast start, yes, but is the importance of reaching X team, because we all know what the numbers are. The first 4, get your product free for going Q team. X team scales you up to 100% ECB, and then 25 on subscription takes you to 100% RCB, which doubles your income overnight on the residuals, as we know. So, rather a quick primer on the whole plan, but essentially the enrollment credit for as soon as a partner comes on board, now we have the fast start period, they're getting the bonus during that 120 days. If they don't get to X team, 121 days in, that bonus disappears. So you need to be aware of that and make your partners aware of that, because it's that sense of urgency we want people to have about how rapidly they need to implement the way the plan works. Because signing in is one thing, they're trying to get comfortable with it, but actually all we really need them to do is to put a few names down on a piece of paper of people they'd really like to have on their team, and some that we would approach for customers, and get that done as fast as possible with your help. Because they don't need to know anything except the phone number of the person we're going to communicate with. That's it, if we do it right. And we get them committed to doing that right within the first couple of days. Because they'll get their 4 customers out of the people they already know. And they will get their first 10, if it's done correctly, certainly within the 120 days, if not within the first 10 to 15 days. Because the war market's always the most important part. I think Sue did it in a week. X team, I mean, about a week. Was it a week? Less than a week, doesn't matter.
Can't remember.
Anyway, it's relatively straightforward, but we don't want to overwhelm people with too much information too fast. The simplicity of it is, right, let's go over who we're going to connect with straight away. And do it as a 3-way, because that's the most important way of building it. Building confidence in the new partner, and because it works, and illustrating and teaching the basics of the way to begin to do it. If you leave them in the deep end, guess what? A lot of people who don't have any experience of sales or getting in front of people and talking about what we do, they're going to flounder and they'll give up quickly. So don't leave them on their own. It really doesn't work. So very quickly, I'll go over the basis of ECBX, just so that we all have it. Bear with me a second. I'm going to share my presentation, very short presentation. Let me share that. So I've covered some of this basic stuff already. ECB versus ECBX, and you know what it actually means. Let me turn it into a PowerPoint presentation. Hang on. Got all the You see that all right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
I know you right, okay.
If I can see it, they can.
So every active partner has enrollment credit.
That's right. Copy the screen.
You qualify for enrollment credit bonus when you hit 10 customers, it's the X team, so it doubles for you. So instead of a balance oil being only 14 points a Premier kit, it doubles to 28. Ultimate Partner kit and all those in between, they also double up. I use the Ultimate Partner because it makes the life, it makes life simple in terms of the duplication process, and it's what we encourage people to do for real partners. And initially that's 150 pay points. Now, actually it's 125, and there's a 25 discretionary bonus on top of it. I don't know whether they've done away with that completely now, but that was the way it was when we came on board. Anyway, it's 150 points, and that doubles to 300, as we know. That's ordinarily available all the time, as long as you've got X team as a qualification. ECBX doubles the ECB bonus. So instead of it only being 100%, it goes up to 200%. And I'm kind of locked in mentally to that 200% rather than ECBX, which they've reframed it. But an ECBX month triples the points. And it does that on the two examples again. Balance oil now becomes 42 pay points. And an Ultimate Partner kit, sorry, I misspelled. Look at that, see? Spot
The deliberate mistake.
Deliberate mistake, should be 450. So, but the point is, it essentially ECBX months accelerate everything again. That's a real thing here. But what people seem to miss is the fact that this happens right the way through the whole down line. As long as you're qualified, everything that goes on underneath you, regardless of whether people within it are qualified, still comes up to you on an ECBX basis. Remember, it's only on enrollment, so it's new business. So the logic here about encouraging it within your organization is very simple. If people are qualified for ECBX, they're actively looking for enrollments during the ECBX period. Or they should be, because they make so much more money out. And you know, it's a key psychological point that money available during that ECBX campaign sets people up. What we've been doing through August is setting ourselves up for a great September. Because, again, as we know, philosophically, the September, October, November period, it's the biggest part of the month for Zinzino by a long way. November is always the biggest single month. That's driven by two things. One is by ECBX in itself, because there will be an ECBX month in November as well. And of course, we brought in new partners during September who then got the excitement of the convention and the new products. And this year is, well, we know there's the test coming.
Else.
Yeah, well, at least we know some things that are coming, the rebranding of the products that have been acquired and so on, or the companies that have been acquired. But those products they're keeping in the portfolio. We know all that's coming. But the test is really, to me, another game changer. Because Angus and I talked about this yesterday. I actually looked up. It's not the third biggest, but colon cancer is the fourth now biggest killer of people from cancers in the UK.
And it's getting younger and younger.
And absolutely, it's doubled since 1990 in terms of the 20 to 48-year age group. More than doubled, in fact.
I think I might have mentioned that two of Lauren's school friends, Zoe and Louise, are both going through colorectal cancer treatment at the moment.
They're early 40.
One's not even 40. So
I stand corrected.
42 and one's 39. But
So yeah, it's becoming much more commonplace amongst younger people, and that's to me, you know, you could probably correlate this with the amount of fibre people actually have in their diet. I've got nothing to back that up in scientific terms, but that's my suspicion because, you know, modern diets are as bad as they are and people simply don't realise it. Anyway, so moving on, let me move on. The ways you qualify, you all know what they are. Essentially, if you aren't qualified, having brought in a combination of customers and or partners with the 8 action points, or a new partner with an ultimate partner kit, then there is the pre-qualification kit you can acquire at the end of it. And I've forgotten what it is. So
It's collagen boost.
collagen boost.
Yeah.
Which will be good for everybody anyway, especially those of us who get it. So is everybody clear about all of that? Yes.
Yeah, cool.
So you know what to do to qualify. It's paid on your downline, both on the weekly credits and the monthly credits, the monthly credit volume. So whatever you've got going on within your organization, if you've got active partners with ECBX, then the encouragement should be to continue to do it. Now, one of the reasons why I said in the message yesterday that we're going to continue the accountability groups is because there is a very interesting statistic. You increase your chances of hitting a goal if you make yourself accountable to somebody by up to 90%.
That's quite amazing, actually.
Statistically valid fact done by research from, I've forgotten the institution in America, I'll find out for us all in a second. But they go up, it graduates based on whether you write them down, whether you make a mental commitment to yourself, whether you verbalize it. There are steps and steps and steps. There are layers of confidence about the goal achievement. The biggest single one of the lot is if you make yourself accountable for doing what you say you will, then you will essentially stand about a 90% additional chance of actually hitting it than if you don't do it. If you aren't accountable. So I'll find the stat before the end of this one. So that's why we're going to keep the accountability going, because if you want to rank up during September, October, and or November, and I think there are probably 2 or 3 steps of rank advancement for all of us in this, in that quarter, that 3-month period, given that we share what the goals are, we're working towards it all the time, we're actively supporting each other in terms of what we're all doing individually, and of course the encouragement and the motivation also helps as a consequence of that. So we're going to continue those accountability calls in some cases every day, in order to build that momentum and keep it going. Because I've always felt that network marketing is a bit like the loneliness of the long distance runner. You know, you're in it for yourself and you're having to do your thing, but it's not a collective activity except in the sense that we're all part of a team and maybe we come together once a week. It's not like you're going into an office and you get that
Group synergy.
Yeah, that group energy that's driving you all towards a common goal that's set by the organization you work with. And of course, they make you accountable because, you know, you get appraised every now and then. There's nothing, it's a bit like, you know, end of the term. I don't know whether you had this, but the school I went to, the senior school I went to, we used to all have to line up outside the headmaster's door at the end of every term. And it was, you know, it's almost like the execution, you know, because you knew exactly what he was going to say. It never changed. Could do better in most cases, and even the people who were doing better could do better. You know, I mean, it was always that kind of approach to it. So, and that's not what accountability is all about. This is all about us actually focusing on our own activity, making a commitment to doing the things we're saying we're going to do, and then being honest enough to declare whether we're doing them or not. You know, and that's enough of a beat up. I didn't need the headmaster to beat me up. I used to do that myself quite happily. Anyway, so
Stop waffling.
I'm stop waffling. We'll stop waffling. I'm going to share one other thing now, which I put together this morning, and that's my hopefully this whiteboard, which I banged out because I thought it might be helpful. Essentially, this looks like a bit of confused grabbling, scratching. It's just a hieroglyph, if you like. But I wanted to illustrate the way it works because it is always a cumulative. It's not necessarily all about the individual effort. It's not your effort that's creating all of this volume that can make the growth happen. It's the effort of the collective effort of the team itself. So I don't know how many in our group overall we've got. We've actually qualified for ECBX. It's a significant number, I know that. All those people are looking for their own growth. So, but if you were to bring yourself on this month and recruit your first two, which is what the plan starts to ask you for, then ordinarily on enrollment credit, all you would get without the fast start, you would end up with just the 300 points for a UPK on each side. And that's what this first column shows.
That's all right.
That's what this first column shows. So it's showing the accumulative of A plus B, 150 each, 300. Now with X team, in other words, 10 subscriptions, that doubles. This is the normal monthly enrollment credit bonus with the bonus element of it, as long as you're at X team. And it's paid across the whole of your organization in relation to the monthly volume and the weekly volume that's being accumulated through the activity within the team, not just your activity. So if A is actually just a new partner who's come on with C and D, then they're bringing on their own two partners, then that volume there is created through A, which rolls up to you. So it always, Lottie, please, thank you. Lottie's just decided to be a birthday girl.
Oh.
She didn't say hello. But your activity essentially initiates the whole of this process. So enrollment credit, X team enrollment credit bonus, ECBX, this coming month in September. Look at the difference in the volume here. You could be a brand new partner at the beginning of September, bring in your first two partners rapidly. And if the duplication begins to happen, which it can, because the initial goal, as I was mentioning earlier, is not to sign up, not to get 100 names out of someone. It's to find the first 5 or 10 people they'd really like to invite to join the team, work through those. And the side effect of that process is bring on customers as much as it is bring in partners. Because essentially we always do the same thing. We share the product to share the opportunity, we share the opportunity to share the product. Because the two things go hand in glove. So that's part of the way the process actually works. But of course, this relationship that you generate can also be created by you, because essentially you could recruit C. So you not only recruit A, but you recruit C as well, because you're busily recruiting anyway. And A, whilst they've done theirs through D, might then actually recruit down here under L, recruiting L. And G, strangely, could have come from your upline. But that all counts to your volume. So if your ECBX at this point, everything going through here, regardless of what it is, whether it's a basic and advanced or an ultimate partner kit, all of those will get credited based on the ECBX qualification. So if this is natural and all these people within this are coming on with an ultimate partner kit, then this is the number you end up with at the end of the month, 5,400 instead of 1,800. That's what gets people, or partly what gets people excited, because the paycheck at the end of the month is hugely increased over what it would ordinarily be.
That's why it's so important to, prep for this.
Yeah.
Because, everything that you do now, all the contacts that you make could be in fruition in the September, and you're going to get much, much more out of it in September. But you also need to know what you're aiming for as well.
So just coming back to this duplication I was talking about as well. If you are encouraging A and B to do what we've just described, which is essentially just finding those first top 5 or 10 people that they'd really like to connect with from a business and from a product perspective, and going to work purely on those without putting them under pressure to create huge numbers of names, you can do that within the first few days of someone coming on board. That speed sets the scene for what goes on beyond. Because someone who's being brought in under A's business, who has been approached the same way. Now, with me doing it simple, I'll be working with A to bring a C and D on, and I'll be working with C and D to bring G and H on. Because when you've got brand new people on board, they don't have the knowledge or the experience to deliver it in a way which gives them the vast majority of the time the best opportunity to have a successful outcome. Because it's always, you know, when you come into something new, it's not natural to say things, but it is like riding a bike. You know, you're going to fall off a bit at the time. You're going to have to get up and get back on it and persist. If you've got someone helping with that process, it's much easier to stay up for a little while with some support and some help and get the feel for what happens while you're riding, as opposed to trying to work your way through it. I can give you another example. When I was in my 20s, I taught myself to sailboard. I fell in more times than I could care to remember, but I was so determined to do it that I had no teaching, so I had to work it out for myself. And I'm a bit of a slow learner in these things, and it took me a very long time of getting wet to actually work out how to get the board working properly and not fall off it quite so often, although that was still a fairly commonplace occurrence in my case. So, you know, having that support, that encouragement and that coaching and that work together also gets rid of some of the loneliness of the activity and keeps you on track in a way which is much more productive. Because if you're blocking the time out in order to be able to make the calls and do the connections, then the process accelerates. And that's why you always hear in training people talking about income producing activity. That's the connection process, the invite, present, follow up that we go through in order to generate that interest or put them in the pipe in order to bring them out the other side in a way. So ECBX triples your numbers, simple, and the money becomes much more significant. The money's driven by the speed of the activity within the organization. You don't want to mother hen your people. You want to use them and engage with the upline in a way which gives appropriate support in order to accelerate their development. So the faster they get results, the more convinced people become, the easier it is to encourage them to continue and to work on the basis of the results that they're actually seeing for themselves, and therefore the income that has been generated. So ECBX is a really crucial time. It's a time of huge excitement for people, especially in advance of the convention and the new stuff that comes, the new, shiny new objects that give us all an opportunity to go back to people that we've perhaps not necessarily lost, but we can demonstrate the excitement and the development. The latest thing we have in this report has helped to do that. I've gone back to several people in the last couple of days on the basis of the evidence now that what we've been saying is proven pretty much beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't see there is any doubt in what we've been claiming. Now we can show it in terms of proof. So I'll stop sharing that. So I hope that's helped and is helping. It's being recorded in case people are unclear. There may be other elements of the way the plan works that people would want to know about. But right now, focusing on ECBX, I think pretty much everybody on this call is qualified, which is a really good thing.
Yeah.
I'm delighted to hear and to say, because you should have a good chance of ranking up. How many of you have got a very firm idea of what that rank should be? Kelly, go for it.
Okay, so I think it's important for us to, when we're showing what you've just shown, that we explain to them that while it's 580 credits and pay points, we need to build on both legs, because some people get lost and they build on one leg, but they're not going to get paid if they just generate in one leg. They have to generate in two, to have 50-50 or 1/3, 2/3. But it's just something for us to remember when we're talking to new people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the way the plan works is that you have to have a UPK or the equivalent of a UPK in each side of your business to actually activate it. So otherwise you don't access the whole payment plan.
I didn't know that.
Have to have it. So the basis of the Fast Start bonuses, you have to have one in the left and one in the right. So if you were to put 2 in the left, it wouldn't qualify you.
Excuse me, I knew it for the Fast Start, and I didn't know the going forward.
So that opens up the whole
plan.
plan.
The plan was enhanced when 2024, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When they brought in the Fast Start program. But prior to that, you didn't actually need to have a second leg, strangely. But then the requirement was brought in as a mandatory one. So now you must have sponsored both sides. And eventually
Yeah.
what happens is if your team, your personal leg, will outgrow the other side if you don't sponsor in both sides anyway. And when that happens, of course, the imbalance is the other way. So the imperative becomes that you should be sponsoring down there.
Yeah.
And there's a
So-
third piece. Sorry, Kelly, go on.
If somebody comes on underneath me and they don't make their fast starts, okay, so they don't enroll A and B underneath them, then in the coming months, do they have, like, if they enroll in A and B, but they come on, say, on the basic or the advanced, does everything open up for them?
Yeah, so it will open up as long as you've sponsored one in each side.
Yes.
Yes, the sponsoring, yeah, so going forward, if we've got, ignoring the fast starts, they don't have to have ultimates sponsored underneath them, just people with codes,
Yeah.
yeah. But to get
Yeah,
the
you-
fast starts, they need the ultimates. I knew that, yeah.
Yeah, you have to have you just have to have one in each side of the business. Eventually, of course, remember the way you get to president and in fact ambassador, you have to have 3 teams. Now, a third team, you sponsor one side, down underneath you somewhere. So you can go to the bottom of your team, of your power leg, and bring another person in there and turn it into your third team. And as long as there's enough volume in there, and I think it's 20,000 credits for ambassador, you've got 20,000 credits in that group, sponsored in that group, then that qualifies you for ambassador. You could have the volume for ambassador, but not the team in order to actually achieve the rank. And to get to president, you need 4 teams. So you want one more on the other side in order to balance anyway. So there is an imperative to sponsor both sides further into the plan in order to maximize the payout.
Yeah.
With me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. Anything else on this before we move on? We'll do a round robin and find out.
Yeah, we'll just do a round robin on everything and see how everyone is.
Right.
Right. So we've been kind of active, but not as active as normal because we're out here in Dubai, and time zones accommodating is being a challenge sometimes. Not 9 and 10 hours difference, and it was like, oh, okay. But yeah, we're still contacting people, but just not as many. And we've obviously had some conversations with people, which has been good. Haven't brought any on new partners, but we've brought on new customers for people within the team and new partners within the team as well, which is fine. That's good. So yeah, so we're back on Thursday. Be back Thursday morning. Thank you for David for coming to pick us up. Be very nice. Looking forward to seeing you. But yeah, we've then got literally a few days left till the end of the month. We've got the Shepreneur event on in where was it? Plymouth. Couldn't think where it was then. Plymouth on the 31st, which is the last day of the month. So hopefully that will be a good option for people as well, to feed people towards. I know some of you are coming. Jazz and Dana are coming, I believe, to Plymouth, which I'm looking forward to seeing them there. And anyone else who knows people down in that area, just try and get them along. That would be really good to see them, because it will be, and it's mainly geared for women, like women in business. So single mums, things like that. It's just a way of showing them. We won't turn men away, but it's mainly geared at women. We'll be nice to them.
Well, we also pause whether you're male or female.
Menopause. I love that.
That's andropause.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I meant it from the point of view of the fallout. That was all.
yeah. But anyway, so how have you, Paul? How have you done this week? I'm just going to kind of go around from the screen.
Yeah. So, yeah, basically, all the appointments I had were put off or cancelled for another day. So I didn't get anything new, but I've met an awful lot of people this week. So, and it's increasing all the time. So I'm
Excellent. That's
quite
good.
pleased how it's going. So
Good. Excellent. So it's just
So
kind
let
of,
me ask, Paul, what's your goal for September?
my goal for September, I did
Yeah.
write it down. It's executive. Sorry.
Executive? Okay.
Yeah.
And where are you at the moment?
silver.
Silver.
Yeah.
Silver
Yeah, but
now.
that's
So
yeah. And it'll
you're going to go through
be
two rounds.
and then
You're going to go through
and then
gold and up
platinum,
to
then
up to
diamond.
executive. Yeah,
So-
but you're going to go through gold and then to the executive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, next on the board, it's like celebrity squares, isn't it? Warren.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's productivity wise, it's been a pretty good week, and I'm opened up more conversations. I tried a new technique with regards to following up with people that are not responding, and it seems to be working. Some of the technique I learned from Eric Worre, and but otherwise, yeah, I've got 4 people that want to, but they're not 100% ready just yet. So that's yeah.
What want to become customers or partners?
Partners.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Oh, that's really good news.
But if you roll them in during September.
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be good. Would be good.
Really good if they enrolled in September.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that would be.
And I think in you're Hungary, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think in Hungary, have you got the option for Klarna as well?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
I'm not 100% sure, but I've never seen it. So I've never
So
seen
I
it.
know that Germany have.
Option.
So whether I don't know. I'll find out. I will find out. But yeah, that would be a good option if it can be split down into 3 payments.
Okay.
I think Germany actually have an option that they can do it monthly.
But that's
so-
if you're registering a partner from Hungary. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So I'm just saying in Germany, I know that they have a Klarna option, but
Mhm.
it's a monthly option, so you could actually split it down into however many months, which makes it very much more affordable for a lot of people.
Yeah. Mine are basically South Africa. So.
Oh, okay.
But one's working on yachts in the Mediterranean and the Caribbean. He works on yachts and stuff like that. So
Cool.
him as well. But so he's international, but the others are
Oh,
all.
well, that's good because you meet lots of contacts. Well done. And
Okay,
David-
Warren. No, hang on, Warren. Tell us what the Eric Worre approach is.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. So it's if you've already had a conversation with somebody and you're now coming back to follow up with them on either you've done a presentation or you've had your initial conversation and they understand what it is that you're doing, and then they don't respond back to you according to Eric, and it's as I say, it's working for me. You just send them a question mark. And then if they don't respond to that question mark the next day, you send them 2 question marks. And then on the 3rd day they haven't come back to you again, then you just send them a message and you say, look, this will be the last. I'm confused. I don't understand what's going on here. You know, we were having a good conversation. We were, you know, however you want to word it, but it's just a matter of I'm confused. I trust everything's okay on your side. And this will be the last time I'll be reaching out to you, unless, of course, you come back to me. And he says, guaranteed they will come back to you. Yeah.
Perfect. And when they come back to you,
tomorrow, but they will come back to you.
and is it a positive response when they come back?
Yes.
Great, brilliant, well done.
Oh, that's good. Thank you, Warren, for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for asking, Kelly.
David and Jax.
Hello, hi.
Go on, you go first.
Yeah, I've had a positive week, as in reach outs and communications. I've had 2 people that have bought products to go ahead to become partners. They may
Excellent.
go ahead in September. One's doing some CQC registration, so she can't be seen to be doing anything else till that's through. And she's very eager to get the products in, so she's trying to push that through, and potentially 2 partners in depth as well in September.
Amazing. Well done.
And interesting what Warren said. So this week, contacting, refollowing up, I've had more responses from people this week. And I think people just took time off and now they're gearing up to that September. I think because I'm pretty certain because we lived our early years by the school calendar, you know, that
Yeah.
September is almost like a restart for people and they literally take time off and September they're gearing themselves up. That's my perception. It may be because I'm dealing mainly with women and they're on that rota with
Yeah.
their children, but that's what I'm finding this week, that they're all going, oh yeah, yeah, I'm just, you know, sorry I haven't been in touch and things like that. So it's been positive.
That's positive. You're getting good response back then.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
How about you, Dave?
I've had a couple of a good meeting yesterday with somebody. It's actually someone that from work. Wasn't talking about, I wasn't contacting them, but they were saying, so what are you doing? And as we walked away, they said, please send me the details about the products, but tell me about being a partner. So I've contacted them this morning, so that would be quite good.
Wonderful.
Got a really good nutritionist in India that's got a 3-way with Dave on Tuesday. So I've been speaking to her for about 3 months and it's all come to light now that she's getting going. Got another 4 that I've been speaking to that I need to get back to, but they were quite keen. I've booked the event for the 11th of September. So I'm going to be there all day doing presentations throughout the day. And what we've got to do today is get an email ready that we're going to send to all the companies there, based on what Jacqueline was doing with the company she did in London. So she sent me the presentation. So we're going to gear it around that.
Oh, wonderful.
And then Dave mentioned about booking working with Stuart about a local group. Nothing has happened on that. I just said to Dave that is something that I want to do. And he said, oh, I was speaking to Stuart about it yesterday. You need to get together. But obviously what I need to do is get together with you guys, and Jacqueline's keen as well.
Yeah.
We need to do it together. So we all need
Yeah, because if we can all support each other, that will be best beneficial.
Yeah, but what I'd like to do is try and change it a little bit, rather than kind of like a collective of us all being there. I'd like to see it a little bit more that if I'm hosting it, I'm inviting you and Nigel in as guest speakers to try and like elevate who's speaking on the day.
Yeah.
So and we can all take turns in doing that and helping each other. So when you get back, perhaps we'll spend a little bit of time and get that organised.
Happy to.
Good.
Happy to. Well done. Angus, how have you had?
And we're going for Diamond in September.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, excellent. Like to hear that.
Well, I'm glad you stepped in there, Jax, because he was avoiding it, wasn't he?
It wasn't. It's down. I've got a bit of paper to tell you.
He's no longer avoiding it, that's for sure. It's everywhere.
I was taking
Nigel,
the mick.
Nigel, can I actually ask you a question? You might be able to give me a good answer to this. I sent the peer review off to somebody and they come back and said, that's absolutely brilliant, but it's only your company that have done it.
Yes, yes.
So what is the process for Zenzino putting the paper up and for it to be authorised to go on PubMed? There obviously has to go through a process.
It's not our company.
For you. It's not.
Well,
It's
not our
Zenzino,
company.
it's the doctors, isn't it?
It's the doctors, and the lead in a paper, when a peer-reviewed paper, sorry, Nigel, to leap in.
That's right.
But when a peer-reviewed paper comes out, you have a list of the authors. Those are the people who brought it, not Zenzino. Right. So those authors, 2 of them are from Vitas, none of them are Collins employed by Zenzino. The others are not employed by Zenzino. They're not. They're all listed with affiliation to the universities or the level, the education level that they are, where they're teaching, sort of thing, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So when they say Zenzino brought it out, no, Zenzino didn't, is the answer. Okay. They used Zenzino's database, which is a proprietary database, because they're the only people in the world who have a database. So they use the database, they access that, but they're not employed by Zenzino. Colin is, the others aren't. The others are on the advisory board, some of them, like Angela Rizzo. But then there's 2 from Vitas. So it's not brought out by Zenzino. And nobody else has brought one out, for starters. There is no other research there to show this. And I don't know if you got to watch the meeting of the minds the other day, but it highlights the importance, for instance, of studies like this, because we're leading the way in this information where we discover that, for instance, you know, every other study says DHA is really important for the development of the brain and things like that, but they're looking at just that. And
Yep.
so development of children in the womb and things like that, that's for the spinal cord, the brain and the eyes, basically, they're saying. However, what was pointed out on that talk was that we need EPA to cross the BBB, the blood-brain barrier, to take the DHA there for a lot of that. So this is like a foundational study. There is no other foundational study, and it wasn't brought by Zinzino. They used the database of an independent test that is double-blinded,
Yeah.
so nobody knows who it is, and it's independently analysed.
Fantastic.
Isn't
Thank you.
Zinzino? That would be my take.
So
Thank you.
wasn't it that it was paid for?
Sorry?
Wasn't the comment back that it was paid
No,
for?
it was a Zenzino. No wonder
Right,
it's
okay.
good because Zenzino did it. But that Kelly's just answered the question. Perfect. Thank you, Kelly.
There's
Kelly,
one other thing. There's one other thing to add to this, and that is it was all done by VITAS. All the tests are done by VITAS, which
Yeah.
is a world-class A1, whatever way you like to describe it.
Yep.
It's an independent company that meets all of the standards of effectiveness and quality that you
Yep.
can imagine. And as a
Perfect.
consequence of that, the data set that's created from it isn't questionable.
no,
Perfect.
no.
Thank you for that.
And that company also is like all the educational side, Harvard, Cambridge, they use that company. And the medical side, GSK, GlaxoSmithKline, MSD, Merck Sharp Dohme, they use that company.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Cool.
perfect. Thank you very
Good
much.
answer. Thanks for that, Kelly. I can't remember where we got to now. Angus, did we do you or not? I can't remember.
No,
if we
you
did.
haven't done me. So it's been a better week of more's happened. No one's actually signed up, but I've got more people to follow up.
Excellent.
Ruth and Liz are planning to turn up in Plymouth, I think.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, because Liz will be down there for that about that period. So
Excellent.
they might try and rope in someone from down there, hopefully.
Well, that would be great. That would be wonderful. So, yeah, they need to book tickets and everything. I know Ruth's booked tickets, but that's
Oh,
brilliant.
right. Well, you've probably got a ticket for Liz as well then.
Okay, right. Perfect. Kelly, you're next on the list.
So chatting to lots of people, I have somebody who's wants to look at the business in September. Well, I have one person who will come on in September, one person, who wants to look at it again in September, somebody in October. So the pipeline is building for partners. It's just getting more of them in there. So
Yeah.
it was like, and
Well done.
carrying them along. So, and I'm also talking to, so I'm part of a networking group here, which has nothing to do with health. It's all different people. So I've been talking to them, and what I want to try and do is to go into, what I'd love to do is get inside a door of a company, talk to the company about what it would mean to improve the health and the health of their employees, lack of sick days,
So
because I can,
So this is exactly what Jacqueline did in
yeah,
London.
yes.
Well, I think last week, week before last with James. So maybe we can get that presentation from Jacqueline as well. You got it.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
please, because that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to go into them and build. So my aim is to have 200 customers, and I want to go director. Diamond will be fine, but I want to go on that trip to Bali as well. So it's either 200 or director, one sort of thing. That's
Whichever
sort
way
of,
round, you don't really care. So.
oh, I do care. I'd like both. I'd like to do both because
Yeah,
that's
of
my
course.
competitive side.
That'd be good. Excellent. Wonderful. So perhaps, David, are you able to put that presentation in the chat? That'd be great if you can.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Tom, how are you doing, Tom?
The same. We have talking to a lot of people during the week and trying to encourage a few people to make the jump to partners. We haven't quite done it yet.
Okay.
Shane
I
Lynch.
think you said that you'd reactivated an old partner. Who would that be?
My sister.
Oh, okay.
So she's reactivated, so she wants to get going.
Excellent.
Set up a call then.
Yeah,
Okay.
set up a call with me.
We're
No,
trying
I've
to
done
work on
one
that.
with her, but
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. Well done.
Can I just cycle back slightly, Tom?
Just need to put this.
You're still going for Diamond, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I'm just making a note because there are two that we didn't talk with about that. One was Warren. What's your goal, Warren?
Silver.
Silver. Great. We should we should spend a bit of time and put that down on paper so you've got a firm plan of what needs to be done in order to achieve that. Because going over it again will help. And the other was Angus.
I'll tell you on Monday.
I love that. Monday.
Okay.
That's fine.
I'll tell everybody else next Saturday then.
Right. Right.
Okay,
Okey-doke.
that's fine.
All right. That's good that you've had a good week, Tom. And it's just that activity. What about Wasama? Are you able to talk, Wasama?
Hi, good morning. Hello, everyone. Hi.
Hello. How are you?
Morning.
Very well, very well. Yeah, I've had a better week this week than last week. I've been going through my direct messages with the phone calls I've had, not the phone calls, the messages I've had the last year or so. I've spoken to a few people. I'm surprised how many people forgot about the presentations or the links I've sent them. In some cases, people didn't know who I was. So I'm gonna I've got 3 phone calls, invitation phone calls. I don't want to say too much on direct message. So I've got phone call invitations next week to make from the direct messages, and I want to go executive by September 30th. That'll be 6 partners on UBKs. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Great.
Wasama, set them up as 3 ways if you can.
Yeah.
So if you've got an initial conversation going on, don't turn it into a presentation by exception. In other words, don't answer their questions. Set it up as a 3-way call or a Zoom, because you'll get much more from it if you do that, and do it with me or with Sue or with Dave, someone other than just you. And that's not being critical of you. What I'm saying here is there's way more power in a 3-way conversation than there is just still a one-to-one basis. We use Dave all the time because it's a more powerful route, and we get used as well. So what I'm saying here is, if you've got those introductory conversations, sound excited, give them a very tiny bit of information like Marco does. It's Swedish e-commerce, blah blah blah, and you know what they are. You've got those written down, I know. And then if they start to press you on it, then just say, look, let's set up a proper conversation. We can meet a colleague of mine. We can give you the bigger picture. How does that sound to you? Because if they're serious, they'll accept that.
Yeah, sure. I told them that it'll be a minute phone call to see if
a minute.
Yeah, right.
1 minute.
1 minute, yeah, because the idea is that once I initiate the questions, I'll ask them, do you have an extra couple of minutes? Does that make sense?
You've been listening to Benjamin again, have you?
It's not just Benjamin, it's just through my experience.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. But
the minute works better than a 20-minute conversation.
In order to honour the time, rather than just continuing to extend it, if you can, by all means do so. But what'll end up happening is you will get trapped into a conversation. Always have the single-minded goal in mind of setting up a Zoom and doing it with a colleague, because you shouldn't be doing anything other than agreeing the next step forward in the process. You're never going to give them enough in one conversation for them to make a properly informed decision. They're only going to do that as they begin to get into the pipeline. So my strong suggestion is go for an appointment rather than just a conversation. Your conversation, in other words, the goal of your conversation is to get a proper appointment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. I don't know what time it is.
It's 8 minutes to 11. No, 8 minutes to 1. Sorry. 8 minutes to 10.
Yes, Kelly.
Yes, Kelly.
Nigel, what is the, you know, in Germany, there's some sort of health or insurance scheme that people are using for customers. What is that? Do you know that? Dave's nodding, maybe he does.
The German system is actually quite interesting because they give an allowance to their employees across it's enshrined in law. They're allowed a week a year to go away for what's called the cure. And the cure is anything that's alternative and complementary. Because they had a very strong tradition in spas, effectively,
Healing practice.
and healing practice. So there's a very heavily developed complementary practice in Germany. And not so much people rely on it, but it's just part of the culture. So they, sorry, go on.
So this week they give them, it's a paid week.
Yeah, apparently so, yeah.
Oh, but they can take, so how people are utilizing it by taking the payment to use instead for Zinzino?
I don't know. I don't know.
know.
Yeah, Kelly, I think that there is a tax allowance for. We like pay our national insurance over here, but I think we can use a part of that national insurance to buy some protect. Is that right, Warren?
Yeah, I in the 90s, I was working in that industry as a trainee chef in one of those spas in Germany. And yeah, so it's as Nigel says, it's part of the culture. So it's part of the government pays that back to people, especially once they start to become more seniors in society and closer towards retirement, and it helps them to stay healthy and active and fit and so forth. So the government actually pays that to you for like a week within a year kind of thing. So, and you can, or in some cases, I guess at that time, then it was, some people got 2 weeks. I guess it depended at the time on who you were, what, your position in society as such. But yeah, the government actively promote that. Whether somebody's going to be able to use that for Zinzino or not is something entirely different. I can't tell you that because there wasn't part of the conversation in those days.
Might be worthwhile reaching out to Gudrun and finding out.
But also then Dave is saying, is there a tax allowance in the UK that you can use? No. Okay.
No. Not a chance. Not these days.
No.
Too much of a struggle.
Yeah.
We can probably find out. I'll ask my colleague. I'll ask Stefan. He'll know much better than I will.
But also, I'll reach out to Gudrun and see if there's anything in particular.
So we'll come back.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I think we're kind of wound up for the night or for the day.
Anything anybody wants to do? Any wins, losses, concerns, or questions before we talk today?
Yeah, would you have time before you leave on Thursday to potentially meet with a partner that I'm going to be reactivating next month in Dubai?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. In Dubai?
Yeah, in Dubai, yeah.
Okay, so we leave on Wednesday. We check in for the flight on Wednesday evening.
Yeah,
So we're around on Wednesday.
Until about late afternoon.
Yeah, late afternoon.
So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Monday we've got appointments.
Well, we think.
Not confirmed yet, but we're expecting to have an appointment on Monday. But Tuesday is definitely doable. Wednesday is also doable during the day.
Yes.
German government, a German employer can give up to £600 tax-free for preventative health.
Thank you.
That's what they use.
So in answer to the question, yes.
Yeah, so it's in Germany. They can make that payment. The employee can make that payment tax-free that they can use to buy the Zinzino products.
Cool. Wow. Cool. Nice one. Right.
That's enlightened all of us. Thank you, David.
Thank you very much. Right.
GDP.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it? It is wonderful. It's quite clever, that. So let me just pause recording. So it is.